Right, there's no sound. Thank you, thank you. I love my followers helping me out when I'm partially retarded. All right, welcome guys. Got some trading to do today. Do we have? We should have sound now, right? Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Hans and Tomek, Tomek. Sorry, guys. Like, probably butchering that name. Sorry about that. Yeah. So welcome everyone. Now, as you guys know, the sponsor of these live streams is PrimeXBT. So if you like what you're seeing, if you like what I'm doing, if you want to support me and you want to be trading on a pretty nice trading platform where you can trade Forex and crypto, remember to check the description to sign up on PrimeXBT, where you can also use the code LiBZ42 to get up to the 7K USD deposit bonus. There's also a code where you're going to get a 25% discount on your fees. And don't forget to sign up on the newsletter that I have a link for in the description as well. It's coming out tomorrow, Friday, and I got some surprise for you guys in there. You guys know I've been working on my trading program, and it's actually going live this Monday. I have 2 spots left. All right, so it's a trading program which will run for 8 weeks, and I accept 12 students in total, and I have filled up 10 of those spots. I have 2 spots left. So if you're interested in getting a seat in that trading program, I have a lot of DMs to go through. But if you want a chance to get in on those 2 last spots, send me a DM on Twitter. Or you can also mail me at support@rlztrading.com, and my colleague will get back to you with that. So we're actually two guys working on this. Me, who's like the face of the program, right? And then I got this guy doing everything, the awesome work in the background. And we're setting up this beautiful website. It will most likely be live week 2 of the program, but you're gonna have this beautiful members area where you're going to have access to content more than the 2 live webinars, interactive live webinars a week. You're also going to have quizzes, homeworks, and videos on a weekly basis in that members area. It's just beautiful setup, right? So I'm trying to move away from the normal ways of doing things. Normally you have a Discord server and you put everything in the Discord server. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to move on to the website and have a members area. So it's going to be a proper course, a proper trading program, right? Where you can sign up for courses, you can follow along, you can have checklists and do quizzes and homeworks and all that kind of stuff. And you send in your homeworks to me, I come back with you, I comment on the homeworks, I send you videos and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's going to be, I've actually never seen anything like this in trading. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the response of the members of the program is going to be. Anyway, enough of me. How are you guys doing? Let me know if you're in any positions. Have you bought anything interesting lately? Any altcoins? How short are you on Bitcoin? Stuff like that. Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to hit that like button if you like what you're seeing. And let's go. So right now I have 1 trade that I have orders in for, and that is Euro NCD. Now I want to take a moment and talk about the indicator. I'm not trying to sell you anything here. I want to segue into an important trading psychological point of all of this, right? Which is my trading over the last couple of months have been completely transformed. And I remember I had a webinar just now. I had the last webinar today of the current program. Like I said, a new one starts the 19th on Monday. And I talked about, did a summary of the program and how to continue. We talked about, having the right approach, having the right mental approach when approaching the markets, right? And like I said, my trading career is like small improvements compound into huge effects, right? So everything started to kind of click for me when I understood the importance of risk management, right? Just risking 1% per trade, that's it. I understood, the relationship between win rate and risk to reward, and being careful not having too deep of a drawdown and stuff like that, right? It had a huge effect on my trading. And then when it comes to the trading psychology part, it's like small improvements I'm now at the point where I feel like I'm in such a balanced state of mind. And the last addition to my trading was this indicator, right? And by the way, this indicator will be available in the Discord server for all of the students. And I am going to launch something in the future where it's going to be like a lower tier program. It's going to be it's obviously going to be much more affordable at a much lower price. You're not going to be able to have access to the program or the webinars and that kind of stuff, but you will have access to the community. So you're going to be able to see the trades I'm taking, my daily market updates, and you're going to have access to these signals that the indicator is giving me. So let me kind of explain my day for you guys, right? So this indicator gives a long or a sell signal on every 4-hour candle close, and that is going to be at 7 in the morning, 11, 3, and then 7 in the evening, right? Those are my times of focus, right? When I get an alert, that's my time of focus, and I don't even scan the markets anymore. So my approach and the way I'm approaching the market is so different since if you compare it to a few months ago, right? It's much. I highly recommend to you guys that if you can automate your trading in some way, please do so. It's going to help you so much in your trading. It's going to help you take away a lot of stress, and it's going to help you with that, having the right mental approach. All right, we got Alp. What's up, Alp? Alp is telling us that he is in a long on AXS and V-Chain on high leverage for the last 3 months. Unfortunately, hopefully BTC will pick up. God damn it. That sucks. And let me explain to you why that sucks. It sucks because of the words you're using here. You're saying hopefully Bitcoin will pick up. Yeah, so you're in 2 positions on altcoin with high leverage. I can definitely sense in just reading this that you might be a little bit worried that they're going to get stopped out, and you might potentially risk, because then you're saying like you want to get out. So you want to try to get out because you're risking too much. You're feeling uncomfortable about these positions. So you just want Bitcoin to stop moving so you can get out, maybe out of the break even or lower loss or profit, whatever. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at these charts, but I highly, highly recommend that if you're entering these with too high leverage, too high risk, man, this is going to be a learning experience for you, and it's going to be one of the most important learning experience for you and for a lot of traders in the space, right? So risk management, right? Risk management, capital preservation. Capital preservation is the number one focus. Well, you know what? I say number one focus for everything because everything is so important, but capital preservation really is very, very important. If you lose your money, you're not going to be able to trade. If you risk 10% on a trade, you're down 10%. That's a huge loss on your account if you're normally risking 1% per trade. If you risk normally 1% per trade, then all of a sudden you risk 10%, that's a loser. You're down 10 normal trades in one trade. It's catastrophic, right? Now, some people, they go up and they risk like 50% or 60% on one trade, and they're gone. They're like, the drawdowns is just too big. If you're down 50%, you need to double your account to get back to break even. Please remember that your capital is your ammunition in the war that is trading. Now, that's probably a little bit too aggressive. It's not like that. You can't really, it's not that action packed, really. It's just quite boring. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Keep your goddamn capital. All right, so let's look at AXS. Please do not risk too much. That is almost financial advice, but it's not. Nothing is financial advice that I'm saying on this channel. So we look at AXS from a high time frame perspective. Wow, this is interesting. Now let's go and look at this. I find it funny that sometimes I go and look at the altcoin charts and it's like, I looked for a setup here, I looked for a long here, and obviously that would have been stopped, but holy shit, if I entered that one on spot and just forgot about it, wow. Yeah, imagine. Anyway, so we're looking at the high time frames right here. Now let's try to make a sense, make some sense out of this. By the way, guys, I have COVID, so I don't know if it's affecting my brain in a negative or positive way, but I'm feeling very good today. Feeling very good today. Thank God for COVID. And thank God I'm not vaccinated. I don't know why. So we can compare this with, well, first of all, I mean, we're hitting this level down here, right? We're hitting that level down here. We're hitting the top of that level. We're in what I would say is a potential accumulation range. So an important thing here is to remember is and right there, COVID struck. Cannot remember what I was thinking. Yes, CPI. The CPI data release the other day kind of turned my whole bullish plans upside down, right? So I thought that if the CPI data came out and it showed no change or a lower than expected number, we would have a continuation of the current bull run or local bull trend, right? Now, what happened was the complete opposite. We had higher inflation than expected, right? So if inflation would have been the same or lower, I would view this as a perfect accumulation range to start buying altcoins. Like I have AXS, you have Sol. Sol is another beautiful example of this, where you have some type of, accumulation range down here. Let's see if I have this shot right here. Yeah, so that's the accumulation range right here. A 300% move up to the quite probable, quite probable resistance area, right? And they look very, very much the same. Sol and AXS right here. And honestly, like I can't really help you with this one, other than let's hope you get out that around break even. But if you do come close to your entry point, like, please de-risk. So when you buy these shots right here, I would recommend buying on spot, not leverage. And if you do use leverage, like, be logical about it. Like, use 2x or three times leverage, not like 20 or 30, whatever, some stupid like that. Like, keep it small positions, start averaging in right here. I have actually bought a small bag of Sol because I really like this shot. I think it definitely has probability. But if you look here, I'm definitely okay with that position losing 40% of its value. So small position started averaging in, but I do think that this looks like a quite interesting accumulation range for a lot of altcoins. Now, the problem with this, and the problem with this whole perspective right here, is what if what if the dollar, the US dollar index right here, I will take a look at Gala in just a minute. What if the dollar strength index, it's not called the dollar strength index, it's called the US dollar index, the DXY. If we break out here, and if S&P 500 breaks down here, we're at the lows right now, and if we do break, well, we're not at the local lows, but if we do break down here and we create a new lower low on the S&P 500, imagine what Bitcoin is going to do. Bitcoin is going to look terrible. Bitcoin, if the S&P 500 drops below the local lows, Bitcoin will probably go down here and probably lower. If the S&P 500 creates new lows, we probably drop below this range low on Bitcoin. Now, if Bitcoin starts trading down here to like 16 or 15, what do you think Sol will do? Now, Sol will probably break down. Sol will probably start trading lower. And at that point, we need to either reclaim this range or start a new accumulation range lower. And I would repeat the same process over again. And it's not easy. It's not easy. We don't know what's going to happen. It's like it's very hard. We don't know if this is the bottom or not. We don't know if this accumulation range is the accumulation range, or if we're going to see one even lower. It's just very hard to plan this, right? That's why you're not supposed to use leverage at this point in time. Use spot, buy spot holdings, keep those spot holdings, but buy in small positions and start accumulate over a larger period of time. Like the bottom is probably not going to be in until sometimes next year, not today, not tomorrow, next year. What if there's like a coffee shortage? I live in Sweden. I can't even grow my own coffee. Should probably invest in a coffee plantation. All right, let's look at Gala. Gala. Well, I have no idea what this is. AXS at 31. You bought AXS at 31? Yeah. Yeah, so you're probably bought because you think, it's not going lower. And the funny thing is, well, nothing about this is funny. Well, there's one funny thing about this though, is the fact that along the top, man, that's the thing with being a trend trader, right? You're always wrong at the bottom and you're always wrong at the top because you keep long in an uptrend and all of a sudden that uptrend, it's not an uptrend anymore. So as a trend trader, I'm never going to be able to catch the bottom or catch the top. The good thing about this trade was actually, it did hit TP1 and then we got stopped at entry. So basically we did kind of time the top, but it doesn't matter. The funny thing about the shot like this is you look from the top to the peak, I mean, the top to the bottom, it has dropped 92%. 92%. Well, guess what? It can drop. Well, it's not going to drop 90% more, but it could definitely drop 60, 50, 60, 70% more. You never know. So a short that has dropped 90% more can technically drop 90% more from current prices. I mean, of course, it's going to get closer to zero at that point, but it's absolutely possible. So what you think is the bottom is another man's sell opportunity. So like trying to time bottoms and stuff like that is just impossible. Just keep with a dollar cost average strategy instead. It's just much easier. Well, look at this. Yeah. Go back to some of these altcoins and it's like, yeah, that idea turned out perfect. Not really. But this is I gotta agree with this one, Roland. Very much agree with that. Very much agree with that. Yeah. It's crazy. Energy prices insane. Got my energy bills. It's 3 times what it was this month last year. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. At least I don't live in Germany though. So this is actually a good example of what we want to see right here. All right. So you look at Gala right here, and this is actually interesting example of a potential potential bottom accumulation range, and it would confirm if this happened, right? So that would confirm this idea. Now you might have started to accumulate in this area right here, but you would probably have to invalidate that idea if you go below that wick right here. So you start buying here. Let's say you have maybe getting like 4 buys in here in 2 or 3 weeks or something, and you say, all right, I'm okay with losing 30% of that position. When I'm down 30% below that low, I'm going to exit, right? And confirmation of this idea would be a reclaim of this level. And if you have anything left to use for your dollar cost average strategy, you enter the rest of that position right here. So what happened on Gala here is obviously we went, well, you know what? I would probably not sell this because it's like support is very, very clear here. You see? Support is like super clear right here. So as long as we stay above that support, I think we're still in this accumulation range right here. And this might be be that accumulation range. I would actually probably stay in this, because that might be the accumulation range right here. It's a big range though. Yeah, it's 100% move to the top. So yeah, this is a hard one, but let's remove all of this. So you could either view this as a high time frame accumulation range, but then you have also, of course, some type of range like this here as well. So what you could do here is, if you do reclaim that, that would be a sign of strength, right? But I would really need to see this whole area price to kind of break above this whole area. And I would say, it's okay to miss out on the 100% move here, because this move right here would be much more probable. It's a 100% move that as well. And of course, if you buy here, it's going to be like a 400% move. So obviously much more profitable buying here, but the probability is quite low. But this, like, it's very, very close to invalidation, this one. So if you want to accumulate this Gala altcoin right here, it kind of makes sense, right? It kind of makes sense, and I would have like a 20, maybe a 20% stop loss, because if this is the bottom, which I highly do, I don't think it is, because risk on assets is performing quite poorly right now, and there is absolutely a possibility of the S&P 500 breaking below these lows and creating new lows. And if that happens, Bitcoin might actually break below 17, 18. And if that happens, altcoins like Gala will absolutely follow. So it's a tricky situation right now. I think we need to wait for more confirmation before we start buying altcoins like this. And that's why when I started accumulating Sol, I did so with very small positions, right? Very small positions. All right, so yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense, and I don't think it has to do with the fact that it's being a gaming token. I just think that it's quite logical to think that it doesn't have to be 30. I mean, if Bitcoin can just... By the way, I posted a tweet yesterday. Oh, man, I should not bring that up. God damn it. Well, at least you don't have my password. So is it all... Which one is it? Control I, right? Control I. God damn it. Fuck it. How do you inverse it? I can't remember. Let's see. I posted a chart yesterday, and I inverted this chart right here. And I said, yeah, right, here it is. So would you buy this, right? And I posted a chart, and I said, would you buy this? And this is the inverted Bitcoin chart. And I believe a lot of people said they would long this. They would buy this. And because of that, obviously, it's a quite interesting, a quite interesting short opportunity, because of the fact that you invert the chart, it looks like a pretty good long setup. It would then, of course, look like a pretty good short setup when looked from the normal point of view. But to your point here, when it comes to the 30K level, I do believe that if we reclaim like 25K, that would be massively bullish for Bitcoin and altcoins and crypto in general. We will not reclaim the 25 area unless we go into risk on environment. Everyone was super bullish about yeah, it does kind of look like a double top. I definitely agree with you, and because of the fact that it does look like a double top here, it also looks like a double bottom, which would be a W here. So very, very, very likely that it also could be a W, right? And what I mean by here is, like, you have a W right here, and the neckline of the W is the 25K. So if you reclaim 25K, that would be like massively bullish, would be a very bullish market structure. And that would obviously, altcoins would rally if that happens. And if that happens at the same time as Sol could kind of like break above this range, we might actually have the bull market going on, right? But that's not going to happen until inflation comes down, or at least inflation has peaked in US, because that's what it's all about right now. Central banks fighting inflation, and in EU you have the Ukraine-Russia situation and the energy crisis, right? So if the energy crisis in Europe becomes just too much this winter, I mean, we're most certainly going to have a recession in Europe, right? The reason why the policymakers aren't really saying that we're going to have a recession is because when they actually say we're going to have a recession, it could be like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yes, inflation in Sweden is also stupid high. But then you look at the inflation in Europe, which is record high, never been this high before, and they've also are raising hiking rates at the unprecedented speed in EU. I think EU is kind of fucked. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. We're gonna have a recession, and it's gonna be probably quite bad with recession. And because of that, I'm not really that interested in starting to buy too much altcoins long term, right? But I'm buying some. So that's my overall view on the markets, and my overall view is like, we're fucked. Save your money, stay in fiat, and what I did in the last bear market, I started studying technicals, right? So in the last bear market, in the major bear market of 17, 18, that's when I learned how to trade, right? So this is a great opportunity for you guys to maybe not start accumulating too many altcoins, but focus on learning how to trade. Learn how to trade in a bear market, and then use that knowledge in the bull market. That's I think the best way to do it. Really, it's a beautiful golden opportunity to start learning more. Let's look at link. Link is definitely one of those you want to accumulate. Oh man. Well, you know, you gotta look at the bigger scale, like it's, I mean, Link is definitely one of the bigger players in the space, and for Link to drop 90%, like, it's insane. You know, these are the prices when you, but you know what, let's go back to like in why, right, let's see, Link. Just look at this chart, man. Look at what happened in like 18. So let's look at the top here in 17. So this was really the crazy part of the last bear market, because you had Link. Let's get a short signal on Ethereum, so we're gonna check that. I mean, Link dropped like 80%, and then all of a sudden it pumped 215, and then boom, we were down 70% again. So it's like, yeah, it's gonna, that's a hard one. But still, you know, we're at prices where it's quite likely that we're obviously much closer to the bottom than the top, if that makes sense, right? So we've also obviously had a lot of dumping going on in the crypto markets. Like, we're obviously much closer to a bottom now than we were, you know, a couple of months ago or 6 months ago, obviously. So when an altcoin has dropped like 90%, I mean, you have to start thinking about accumulating, right? But then you also have to look at the overall global macro environment, and you have to pay attention to what the central banks around the world is doing right now. And I do believe that they are going to continue aggressively hiking rates, right? Even after inflation has peaked. Now the question is, will the market bottom when it's clear that inflation has peaked, or will it bottom when the Fed starts easing with the hiking of rates? I think next week we have the interest rate decision. Let's look at that interest rate decision. Let's see if we can find something. Right. We have the inflation rate for EU coming out tomorrow. It's interesting. Right here, FOMC economic projections as well as Fed interest rate decision that is going to happen on Wednesday next week. Very, very important, because the question here is, most people, and it seems like the market has priced in a 75 basis point rate hike, which basically 75 basis point means 0.75% increase in interest rate. So the market seems to be pricing in 75. If we get 25, which we're not, but if we do get 25, it's going to be very unexpected and it's going to be bullish for the market. Now, if we get 100, it's going to also be quite unexpected because people are expecting 75. If we do get 100, it's going to be more bearish. And I think it's actually quite likely that we're going to see 100 basis point interest rate hike, because of the unexpected high inflation. And Fed Chairman Powell has said during Jackson Hole speech that they were going to that they're now much more serious about fighting inflation than they were in the past. So they really want to pay attention to inflation, and if it grows, they're going to be aggressively hiking rates. So it's very possible that you're going to see a 100 basis point rate hike next week, which will be quite bearish for most markets, right? So you get to pay attention with that. And then you take that into consideration with the energy crisis in Europe. And it doesn't seem like Russia is going to allow Europe access to the gas pipelines anytime soon. And Germany is having huge problems. And so we're most likely going to have a recession in Europe. So you got to take all of this into consideration when trying to time the bottom. There's no rush. There's no rush. The bottom, when the bottom is in, I believe it will be quite clear. It will be quite clear. The quantitative tightening and the financial tightening that the Fed is doing right now, when that slows down, we're probably already going to have a bottom in the markets, I believe. All right, guys, let's. I'm just going to do a quick scan here of the altcoin list, see if we see anything interesting. Holy shit! Look at KNC. Look at KNC. Why is this one performing so well? And why did I miss this one? So look at this. This is a. This is almost like a picture perfect market structure move right here, and that gets quite messy with all the indicators. So let's remove all the indicators. So what you see right here is a very nice looking uptrend right here. We have a W right here with the W both testing the trend line right here. This fib is measured from that low to that high, and you then see also that the reload zone, the long RLZ, is complement with that trend line and the horizontal level and the neckline of that W. This is picture perfect stuff right here. Now, what happened on KNC, it actually came down, and let's create a level right here. So we do have a level right here on the neckline of that W, and as you can see right here, it came down and almost perfectly bounced on that level right there. Now, usually when this happens, I want to look for potential entry orders on the 0.5 right here. So one trade could have been this. That would have been a 2.44 trade right here. And that's definitely a possibility. It's a very, very safe trade right here. You want to enter on the 50, then have stops all the way down below the reload zone and the trend line. Let's add the indicators right here. And here's something interesting, right? I want to show you this. This is a technique I use a lot of times. So let's use the replay function right here. Let's go back. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to add some alerts to this one. Right, so it's K and C. Let's go to K and C. I'm going to use the one on FTX. Let's do this. So let me show you what I do when I add the alerts into Discord here with the indicator. It's quite simple. So you have this is a short signal waiting to be triggered on Dodge. So I've started adding some altcoins as well to this indicator. So I have all my Forex pairs using this indicator, and then now I'm gonna start adding altcoin pairs as well. So let's we're gonna clone the short and we're gonna clone the long. Now we're gonna go into the short one. No, that's the wrong one. We go to KNC, edit. That's the indicator right here. And we want a short alert, and it's going to be once per bar. Now, once per bar close. Open and notify, show webhook. So this webhook right here sends to a site called Alertron, and then Alertron sends to the Discord channel. T1 4 hours short, so it's going to be short on KNCP. And down here, we get to select, we get to write KNC perp, and it's going to be on FTX. Right, that's correct. So that's the short signal right there. And now let's go to the long signal. It's quite takes quite some time, so obviously it's going to take a long time for me to add. I'm starting with adding every altcoin on PrimeXBT. But you can see that it's quite time consuming to do this. So I'm doing like a couple of altcoins I'm adding every day. So that's the long signal. All right. So every time I'm getting long on this, I'm going to get it to the Discord, and I'm going to get alerted on my smartwatch, and I can then check the chart and Discord to see if it's a trade worth taking or not. And if I did this a couple of days ago, I would not have missed this setup right here. So let me show you what I do, right? So what would have happened here is I would have gotten an alert here, right? And basically, this indicator is designed in a way that it gives you a long signal when there's a bullish engulfing candle involving the 4-hour 20 EMA, and if stochastics are size below 30. Then it's up to me to see if it's confluent with the system or not. And in this case, it is, right? So what I would do in this case is I get an alert right here. Now, let's assume that I see this alert right here. What I do then is I add the Fibonacci tool again to that low, to that high. And what I would do after that is I would place my orders inside the reload zone. And I like the fact that you have the 0.618 here nicely positioned right between the 20 and the 50 EMA. So that would be the long. Now you have a choice, and you could either take this trade right here based on the lower time frame fib. This would be a little bit more riskier, but the risk to reward would actually be really, really good for such a small trade like that one. So you could take that trade, or you just use that lower time frame fib as entry confirmation, or to show you where you want to enter. You then have a wider stop loss, and you take the trade based on the bigger fib, which would be this one, and the risk to reward would be the same, but it would be a more long-term trade with a much wider stop loss. So in my case, let's try this out. I mean, I think this would turn out quite well as well, but I would probably not take this trade because of these wicks right here. You want to have the stop loss below these wicks. But if you do go with this one, let's see what would happen here. The prices comes down, And yeah, you would have been in quite a good position right here. And now it's actually giving you another long signal. So what you would have done here is you hit that TP1, stops would be at entry. Quite simple. All right, guys, I think I'm done with the webinar today. Just giving you, you want to do a quick market update, talk a little bit about the market, showing you that I'm currently only position I'm waiting to enter is Euro NCD, which is I have my long orders right here, down here, and it seems like it's not going to fail, most likely. But basically, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for this. But I'm definitely going to be continuing to monitoring this one right here. I have a few other forex pairs I'm watching, but crypto right now I'm being a little bit careful. Of course, KNC, I would probably have taken this trade if I did get the signal earlier, but I have a list of some alerts. So let's look at Ethereum, because we're actually getting a short signal on Ethereum. And yeah, let's take a quick look at Ethereum. So yeah, we did get a short signal here on Ethereum, and that is based on that bearish engulfing candle right there. But it's not really a valid short signal because the stochastic RSI is not in a any good environment. No, I wouldn't really look at SOL from a trading perspective, not day trading perspective. I look at SOL from a more long-term holding perspective, honestly, but I would be very careful going long on anything in this case. Looking at Ethereum, it's in a range, not really something I would like to be trading. I don't know, guys. It's just in crypto is quite slow today. I would not be trading. There's no setups on in crypto today, other than that one, but we missed out on that one, unfortunately. So that's it. I don't think we have much to do in the crypto space right now. Maybe something develops tomorrow, but looking at Bitcoin and the dollar currency index, I think that's, I don't know, like it's I usually don't trade on Fridays. I like to manage my trades on Fridays, but I don't like to enter any more positions on Fridays. All right, guys, remember to hit the like and subscribe to the channel if you want more, and hit that little bell notification button so that you get notified whenever I go live. Because sometimes I'm just going to do this, like I'm just get a feeling for going live, and I like just go live in the next 10 minutes. So remember to hit that bell notification button so that you know when I actually do go live. And yeah, sign up to the newsletter. Gonna get more info on the program in the newsletter. And if you want more info on the program and you want like to reserve that spot for the last 2 spots in the trading program, and you want some more information on that, you send me a DM on Twitter. I'm at LiBZ42 on Twitter, and I will help you out with that. All right, guys, thank you all, and I will see you guys in the next live stream. All right, take care.